Is it recording right now? It doesn't really tell me whether or not it does record. It sort of is dumb. So is it recording? Yeah, it is. Okay, sorry for the little complication. But I was already doing this quiz, and the thing was getting a bit too long, so I'd rather go rapid fire with this just so it's easier to not only edit, but also to upload. Anyways, first thing, laws should restrict abortion in all or most cases. I went with neutral because I'd rather people have individual choices. That way, I mean, just as long as they know what the hell they're doing, that's all I care about. That way they can live with their choices, because again, that's their individual right. Not the whole like it's woman's body, woman's choice. I don't really believe in that. I just believe in as long as they know what the hell they're doing to the baby, like exactly know what the hell they're doing to the baby. That's all I care about. But just as long as they're aware of their actions. 2. Unions were dispensable in establishing the middle class. I disagree strongly because I don't really work, so I don't know how the fuck unions work. And also, I don't really hear about them too much when establishing the middle class. So, I don't know how the fuck that correlates. It doesn't matter to me too much. Neutral does matter as well. But I don't really care about this too much. 3. In nearly every instance, the free market allocates resources most efficiently. I agree strongly with this, and it's a matter that matters to me a lot. That doesn't really make sense, but still, it matters to me a lot, mainly because it's the fucking free market. It's people's choice. Whatever is people's needs and desires, it will be met, or the market will meet those. I can't even speak right now. The free market will always meet the needs and desires of the people. Well, almost always. Not everything is perfect. 4. Public radio and television funded by the state provide a valuable service to the citizens. I just added 2. I disagree because nothing should be funded by the state, honestly, especially when it comes to communication. It matters to me a lot because it's, again, communication. I'd rather not have anything funded by the state when it comes to communication and information, because it can be construed. I'd rather non-profits or local or individual people be funding themselves or whatever the hell. I don't know. I just don't like state funding things. 5. Some people should not be allowed to reproduce. I strongly disagree because I don't like eugenics. Sounds fucked up. Again, individual choice. 6. Access to healthcare is a right. I strongly disagree because it's fucking expensive as shit and it shouldn't be a fucking right. So I'm thinking economically. And also you shouldn't be forced to get a fucking healthcare too. It's expensive. So you shouldn't be forced to get this and be penalized for not having one. I think California penalizes you for not having a healthcare plan, whatever the fuck. 7. The rich should pay a higher tax rate than the middle class. I disagree because I hate that notion. The rich should pay higher tax, and also I don't like taxes to begin with. I'd rather things be decentralized and privatized like a motherfucker, whether it be locally or individually, but not regionally or statewide or nationwide or worldwide. I was going to say global wide, but that doesn't make sense. Anyways, 8. School science classes should teach intelligent design. Strongly disagree because religion should stay out of science, as always. 9. Marriage should be heralded for the important role it plays in society. I disagree because I don't like marriage too much, and also I promote individualism, and technically it's not very individualistic to get married and shit. And it shouldn't be a fucking milestone so much, or it shouldn't be like a pressured milestone, like, oh, you should get married, you should get married, you should get married. No. So I honestly hate marriage in the first place. Like, I get its important role in society, but there's just too much complications right now in this modern age. So thank you, women and feminists. Anyways, 10. Sometimes war is necessary, even if it means you strike first. I'm neutral with this, but I do care a lot about it. Because it is war, and we have to defend ourselves. And sometimes we're going to need information in order to make these kinds of moves. You know, the first strike. A lot of intelligence is needed in order to do something like striking first. 11. Patriotism is an overrated quality. I disagree strongly, and I care about this a lot because patriotism should be promoted like a motherfucker. Because it's patriotism, you should love your country regardless of what it's done, because not everyone or everything is perfect, and the past is the past. You can't change it, you can only accept it and move on. And also, you shouldn't be called a nationalist for being patriotic. It's really fucking stupid too. 12. Radio stations should be required to present balanced news coverage. They shouldn't be required for shit. I care about this a lot because, again, radio stations shouldn't be compelled to present the news. This should be individual rights or the free market. Let the business or radio station do whatever the fuck it wants to do. 13. Government should do something about the increasing violence in video games. I strongly disagree because government is full of old people, and old people don't really know shit about video games, especially the internet. And I care about this a lot because they tend to really fuck with my rights, especially online, and my entertainment. They've really fucked with my, how do I say, my favorite shows and movies and games and shit. They've really affected that too damn much now. 14. If our leader meets with our enemies and makes us appear weak, I strongly disagree because that kind of fucking thinking is retarded as fuck. Don't really care about it too much because, again, it's retarded as fuck to even think about it in the first place. 15. You must use our military from time to time to protect our supply of oil to avoid a national crisis. I agree because we're not that good with electricity, and if anything happens to the electrical grid, we could be fucked for life. So it's best if we do this somewhat mechanical or somewhat still scientific thing. Like, you might not think it's like science, but still, it's science to create oil or get things from oil in the first place, so we need oil for almost everything, especially plastic. No matter how much it fucks with our environment, we can always fix the environment in some convoluted way. We're humans, we can think of almost everything impossible. Literally, things that are impossible to us now won't be impossible sometime or later in the future. Because that's how fucking powerful humans are. I was about to say strong, but that wouldn't make sense. 16. Strong gun ownership rights protect the people against tyranny. I strongly agree. Because if the government's a bit fucking wants to do some shit that I don't like, I want to be able to defend myself. Because if the government turns into Britain 2.0, or I shouldn't say Britain 2.0. Yeah, I think it's Great Britain 2.0. Like from the colonial ages. I'd rather say fuck you to big tyrannical governments, and I'd rather take them on, or at least be able to, because it's sort of my right as a patriot. There shouldn't be any tyrannies anyways in America, because it's the whole reason why we created America in the first place. To get away from tyranny. Anyways. How the fuck long has this been going on? Don't be long. Okay, 9 minutes, good. We got good time. It makes no sense to say I'm spiritual but not religious. I'm neutral because I don't know shit about spirituality or how people want to be spiritual with their lives. And also, it's an individual thing, so I don't give a fuck about other individuals other than myself. hence individuality. So I say worry about yourself and worry about your own beliefs and shit. It doesn't really matter to me too much. 18. It is not government's responsibility to regulate pollution. I agree, because too much regulations will just fuck with the market and fuck with overall progress. And also, we're humans, so this should be like a common sense thing. I don't know how people don't really take this pollution thing into consideration. It matters to me a lot, obviously, because it's the environment. 19. Gay marriage should be forbidden. I disagree strongly. They should be allowed to get married, although... Wait, gay marriage should be forbidden. Okay, now I can't say I agree strongly, because... I would say I agree strongly because of the marriage thing. Like, marriage is more like a religious context and whatnot. I'd rather keep, like, religion on its own thing, and also this is like a state document sort of thing. Like, the state's involved in marriage, and I don't like that either. So that's why I would agree strongly that it should be forbidden, because it's the marriage thing, not the gay marriage. Because I would say I'm gay too, but I don't want to get married anytime soon. I don't really care about marriage too much, because it's a religious thing. It's mainly a religious thing. It's always been a religious thing. If you like someone, like... If you know they're going to stay loyal to them, then that's all on you. I know that I have like a high risk of not being so loyal right now, mainly because I haven't really worked on myself too much or really improved myself. So rather than I go through the tiresome struggle of being unloyal and being considered that, because that's the last thing I want to be considered, is unloyal, because that's one of the things that makes me me, is my loyalty. But anyways, I disagree strongly because individual rights, but I would agree strongly because I don't want the state or anything else to fuck with the religious context of marriage. It should be like civil unions. But anyways, 20, it should be against the law to use hateful language. This is really subjective toward another racial group. Not always hateful language is subjective, but also towards another racial, like a racist language, whatever the fuck. Like, I disagree strongly that there should be a law against saying nigger and beaner and shit like that, because they're just fucking words. Like, I get that they have like really hateful connotations, but they're just words. Don't let words affect you so much, and this thing doesn't really matter to me too much, hence why I just said nigger and beaner. Government should ensure that all citizens meet a certain minimum standard of living. I disagree, because government doesn't know the fucking minimum standard of living. Like, everyone's fucking different, especially the minimum, quote unquote. Like, the minimum's completely fucking different. Like, people should help themselves, or people should pick themselves up. Yeah, pick themselves up. Not have the government fucking... I'd rather not have more dependency on the government, especially if people can't really help but be dependent because they were sort of raised to be dependent, but they don't know any better. I'd rather them learn to be independent on their own, and that's not fucking rely on government and waste our money on us trying to force them to be productive and independent. Anyways, 22. It is wrong to enforce moral behavior through the law because this infringes upon an individual's freedom. I strongly agree, because morality is getting really redundant now when people try to virtue signal and shit like that. It's getting really fucking annoying. Like, it should be common sense when it comes to morality, but they're making it seem like we don't know about moral shit, and so it's just getting annoying now. So that's why I don't really like morality anymore. It's because of PC people. Non-citizens. I'm not gonna read all of this. Actually, fuck it, just to appease my OCD. Immigration restrictions are economically protectionist. Non-citizens should be allowed to sell their labor domestically at a rate the market will pay. I'm neutral because I want there to be more productivity domestically, but also I like free trade, especially when it comes to international free trade, because it's fucking free trade, the free market. So I'm neutral on this shit. An official language should be set, and immigrants should have to learn it. I agree, because this matters to me a lot, because it's for productive purposes. Because I need there to be like an efficient communication between me and someone who I guess wants to live and work here. Or work here, I guess. I don't know. But they should learn English and me not have to fucking learn Spanish just so I can understand them. Because I don't have the time nor the energy to do so. I'd rather be working. And I'd rather the productivity be smooth and on-flowing rather than there be fucking hiccups because I have to fucking learn what the hell they're trying to say or do. And especially when they sort of act dumb. Like, I could tell that they innocently acting like, oh, I don't know. Like, that stupid shit. Like, they have to learn the fucking language. If you want to work here, learn the fucking language. It's my goddamn country. I should know how the hell. Like, I shouldn't be forced to learn how the hell to speak your language just so I can understand you. I have to understand you because you're living in my country. I'm not living in your country. You're coming to my country. I was born here. You just came here. Anyways, 25. Whatever maximizes economic growth is good for the people. I strongly agree because money gives us more opportunities. Racial issues will never be resolved. It is human nature to prefer one's own race. I agree strongly because people can be selfish. Humans can be selfish like that. And I understand that this will never be resolved, racial issues, because again, people are complicated and stupid like that. There's nothing we can do about it because it's in our nature. 27. People with a criminal history should not be able to vote. I disagree because if they are able to redeem themselves, let them redeem themselves. But it doesn't really matter to me too much because, again, criminality. 28. Marijuana should be legal. I agree strongly because it's marijuana. The state should fine television stations for broadcasting offensive language. I disagree strongly because the state should fuck themselves and not fuck with communication in any way. And 30. It does not make sense to understand the motivations of terrorists because they are self-evidently evil. I disagree strongly because this is very fucking subjective. I care about this a lot. I'd rather people go through the trial and justice and bullshit like that. Get the facts first. Now this part where I had left off because I did not anticipate there being a second part. But we're going to go through this quickly too because I'm now at 18 minutes and I don't want this to be too long. 31. The lower the taxes, the better off we all are. I agree strongly. I care about this a lot because, again, individuality and privatization. And would let people be more enterprisey just so there's more and more competition and more innovations being released here and there. I want there to be competition. And I want people to start their own businesses and pursue their dreams and shit. That way we can increase market or increase competition and have better shit in life. 32. Minority groups that have faced discrimination should receive help from the state to get on an equal footing. I disagree strongly. They have to pick themselves up and not make it so much of an issue. Like, they can literally... There's other fucking options and opportunities out there. The state shouldn't be trying to help them in this way, especially because it sort of victimizes them. And I hate this whole victim mentality. Fucking, again, pick yourself up. Defend yourself. You know what you can do, so do it and prove them wrong. Plus, if this kind of thing happens, you can easily just report it and let the fucking courts handle it, and you'll most likely win and shit. I don't know. I just don't like this whole state giving out this Sort of seems like reparations in some way. I don't know why, but it just gives me those vibes. It doesn't really matter to me too much yet. 33, it is wrong to question a leader in wartime. I disagree, because not everyone is perfect, and I care about this a lot because it determines our fucking survivability. Tighter regulation would have prevented the collapse of the lending industry. I disagree because a lot of things can factor into the collapse of an industry, and regulation doesn't really help industry too much, especially if it's tighter. 35, makes sense and it is fair that some people make much more money than others. I agree strongly. I'm neutral on this. Toppling enemy regimes, because this is reality. Toppling enemy regimes to spread democracy will make the world a safer place. I disagree because not everyone likes democracy, and also fuck democracy. I'd rather there be libertarianism and communities helping themselves rather than, I don't know, I promote more so localism and individualism, not this statism or nationalism or some shit, or centralization more so. Care about this somewhat because this is what sort of creates terrorists as well. 37, the state has no business regulating alcohol and tobacco products. I strongly agree. This affects me a lot because, again, the fucking age bullshit. I want to be able to drink and smoke now. The fact that you keep on saying that, oh, you have to be 21, 21, 21. I have to keep on doing this shady shit just to get it, because I'm going to get it regardless. I'm going to want to get it just so I can handle the fucking stresses of reality. I'm not stressed yet, but as soon as I get a job, I will be fucking stressed. And if you keep on taking out my fucking options of relieving that stress that I will experience, I will be more resentful towards you. Just let me be myself and relieve the fucking stress that I will experience. Everyone experiences stress. We need to relieve it in some way. I don't care if it is destructive or is not good for me. Nothing is good for you. Stop being a fucking pussy. And also, you should fix your mentality if it's being destructive in your life. I'm not trying to be destructive in my life. I'm regulating this to where it's beneficial. Anyways, 38. If an unwed teen becomes pregnant, abortion may be a responsible choice. That doesn't sound like a fucking responsible choice. I am neutral because this just sounds fucking weird. (39) International trade agreements should require environmental protections and workers' rights, meaning no free trade with countries that lack pollution controls or labor protections. This might be subjective. Fuck it, I agree. We are a powerful economy anyways. It will just force them to do the regulations. Anyways, this might have to be a bit. Gay equality is a sign of progress. I won't say it's a sign of progress. People were fucking equal of gay people back then too. It's just we don't have the documents to back that shit up. Again, this is sort of natural, and they... Actually, no, it's sort of historically subjective. I agree, but this doesn't really concern me too much. The state should be able to put a criminal to death if the crime was serious enough. I agree. Yeah, I agree. I'd rather put them into some kind of like quote-unquote slavery program, but you know, I guess that works too. Doesn't matter to me too much. How much? Okay. The military budget should be scaled back. I am neutral, but I do care about this a lot. It's more so we just need better contracts. And also cheaper ones too. It's mainly just... this is why we need localism and individualism. That way people can also enter and try to compete in the weapons designing industry or the weapons industry and whatnot. Because I just recently learned, or I've learned, that the military doesn't create their own shit, which is kind of fucking stupid, but then again it makes sense because wherever they get the materials and tools, other than through contracts. Anyways, 43, economic competition results in innumerable innovations that improve all of our lives. I agree strongly. It is not our place to condemn other cultures as backwards or barbaric. Actually, I fucking disagree strongly. Because they should know better. Actually, let's just say disagree, not strongly. Sort of neutral with that. When one group is slaughtering another group somewhere in the world, we have a responsibility to intervene. I disagree strongly. Actually, no, I disagree, because in some cases we do need to intervene. Neutral with this. We'd be better off if we could just lock up some of the people expressing radical political views and keep them away from society. I disagree strongly, because it's very fucking subjective. And also you should know better and understand where they're coming from. So, this matters to me a bit, because people might be thinking of this of me, so... yeah. 47, unrestrained capitalism cannot last, as wealth and power will concentrate to a small elite. I disagree. It matters to me a lot. Because again, individualism and localism. "48 is a problem when young people display a lack of respect for authority." I disagree. This matters to me a bit more, mainly because there could be a good reason why, or if there's a bad reason, well, at least there has to be like some way to like investigate what that actual problem is. Because this is the way to figure out what problems we're facing right now, is like figure out why the hell the youth is, you know, rebelling a lot. Because I'm sort of rebelling a lot. 49, when corporate interests become too powerful, the state should take action to ensure the public interest is served. I agree. I don't know how I agree with this, but I feel like I agree. I was going to say something, but I'd rather hurry this up. A person's morality is of the most personal nature. Therefore, government should have no involvement in moral questions or promote moral behaviors. I agree strongly. And this matters to me a lot because everyone's different. Everyone. The state should not set a minimum wage. I agree strongly because economically it's bad for businesses and it will fuck with hiring opportunities and shit. Mainly for skilled workers, and also would sort of actually I'll just come back to that some other time. This matters to me a bit more. A nation's retirement safety net cannot be trusted to the fluctuations of the stock market. I'm neutral because I don't know what the fuck that means. Offensive or blasphemous art should be suppressed. I disagree strongly because freedom of expression. 54. Oh, I thought it was going to be like 60. Optional. Please share some info about yourself. There's your age group. I am 18 to 29. I am male. I hail from the United States. I don't know why I said states. California. I am mixed. Excuse me. And my political party is... I'm going to say libertarian, but I don't like choosing sides so much. I would choose independent, but libertarian is the best choice. Because, yeah. Let's see how I got. Or how I am. I am a right social libertarian. What the fuck does that mean? Ow, my ass. Ah. Okay, so on foreign policy, on the left side are pacifists and anti-war activists. On the right side are those who want a strong military that intervenes around the world. I scored negative 1.68. More moderate when it comes to foreign policy, but I really don't want to fuck with the world too much. Culture. Where are you in the culture war? On the liberal side or the conservative side? Scale may apply more to the US than other countries. You score negative 2.44. Culturally liberal. I don't like the word liberal too much. Or this sort of pacifism. Like, I would be more intervention-y, but I'd rather leave it up to the people who have all the information to do so, and not so much fake news and shit, or fake facts. Because it does affect everyone in the world. I don't know why I said that, but anyways. The average usually is there. It's cool that I'm right here. But I'm more so on the right. Oh, I love that. But when it comes to 18 and 29... I don't know why I'm filling out all this information. I could have literally just stopped this video right now. But I just want to see this. Because I know that I'm libertarian. But... huh. Would you look at that? I'm more libertarian than... my peers. Like, they're more pacifists. Which is, I kind of knew that. And Jesus Christ, how the hell did I move here? Yeah, anyways, I guess I'm really culturally liberal. This is like the average for people, so I'm more culturally liberal than others. But I'm more neutral when it comes to foreign policy, I guess is how I can describe my results. Okay, 34. Alright, motherfuckers. That has been a pretty solid, somewhat productive political quiz that I did. It's longer than I expected, but at least I got these results. Still considers me, I think I say right social libertarian. So I guess I'm still a rightist. Or not like still, but it's not a bad thing to be on the right. But it's not a good thing to be on the left at this point. Because again, I hate government. Anyways, yeah, I don't know how else to stop this video, so I'll just end off with fuck the police.